What's going on, Bruce? Do you like Mew? And or do you like Mewtwo? Maybe you actually like Mew and Mewtwo. Does not matter, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's video is literally 100% all about Mew and Mewtwo and Mew and Mewtwo.
What?
Basically, from raw Mew and Mewtwo cards to graded Mew and Mewtwo cards to sealed Mew and Mewtwo themed products. That is what tonight's video is all about. Why? Because Mew and Mewtwo are doing good. They are doing real good. So let me break down right here and now the order of things that I will be covering in tonight's video, since it is a giant Mew and Mewtwo market value information dump covering lots of different stuff. Here we go. First, we are going to cover the most valuable, like the top 10 most valuable Mew and Mewtwo themed sealed products and what they are going for right now. Second, I am going to give you the 5 most valuable English Mewtwo cards, followed by the 5 most valuable English Mew cards. That's right, there it is. And then guess what? Then we'll do the Japanese. I'm going to give you the 5 most valuable Japanese Mewtwo, 5 most valuable English Mewtwo, and then here's where things get really fun. We're going to go on eBay and we're going to look at PSA Gem Mint 10 slabs. All the most expensive Mew and Mewtwo PSA 10 slabs that have sold on eBay. We're going to take a look at those because, yeah, it gets really impressive. Anything with Mew or Mewtwo written on it, whether it's a card or it's a sealed product or it's in a slab, it's doing really, really well right now. All right, let's get to it.
FOMO.
Alright, here we go. We are starting off with sealed products, and we're going to go from least expensive to most expensive. And when you see this chart right here, this is another reason I'm doing this video. These Mew and Mewtwoos and Mew Mewtwoos, they're all doing good. Everything is a big ol' up arrow for the most part. There's a couple products that you will see that have actually not gained too much value, and that means I think they're amazing buys as far as like sealed pieces, sealed display stuff. So we're gonna get that, and once we get to the Fusion Strike Pokemon Center ETB, I have a couple interesting things I want to say about Sword and Shield Pokemon Center ETBs, to be very specific, because there was a narrative that those weren't even investable, and oh my god, the Fusion Strike Pokemon Center. Anyway, here we go. Oh, by the way, one last by the way, tomorrow I will be announcing this month's channel member giveaway winner. And no one knows what I'm giving away tomorrow. I'm keeping it a secret. I'm going to start keeping all my channel member giveaways once a month a secret. That way, you know, you're either a channel member or you're not. You're not because you're trying to win that thing. You just are because you are. All right, here we go. $100 for the Mewtwo V-Union Special Collection. Look at this, guys. On the 1 year, this is literally from $50, it's essentially, well, literally doubled in price. It is now $100. So there you go. There's that Mewtwo V-Union, and yes, as you can see right there, that is an Evolving Skies pack. To the next most expensive thing, this is a beautiful sealed piece, and this is what I'm talking about. This was like $100 a year ago, and now it's $120. Completely unaffected by the most recent bubble. 3 Shining Legends pack, a very cool Mewtwo promo, a Mewtwo pen. That is the Shining Legends pen collection featuring Mewtwo. And again, this is only up $20 on the year. I would say this is a fantastic sealed product to get in at $100. I want to buy this. All right, or $120, sorry. Next, we're going to the Fates that are hidden, with a 3 Hidden Fates packs and another pen collection that is Mewtwo. So here's another one. These two are the only two that have been relatively unaffected by the crazy market over the last year, because this was $100, and once again, just like the last one, it is only up $20. That is not the case from everything moving forward, trust me. But this right here, this for $100 for a sealed collection piece is just, I want to buy this so bad for $100 or $120. No differently from this. These are for $240. You can have both these display pieces. If you are a Mewtwo fan, How can you not want to buy these two pieces right here? All right, let's move along because now things are going to get really expensive. Okay, so the Fusion Strike Elite Trainer Box. This is the regular one. Okay, this is a 1-year chart. 1 year ago, this was $40. Look at this. This is a $175 ETB. Oh my gosh. And it's about to get worse when you see the Pokemon Center one. And again, the narrative was definitely don't invest in Pokemon Center ETBs unless they are Scarlet and Violet, because the stamped promo makes all the difference. Well, apparently that is not true. Whoever told you that was wrong, because here's the Pokemon Center Elite. Look how cool that is. This is the Mew Fusion Strike Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. 1 year ago, oh my god, this was $60. This gives me a migraine. These guys, here's the thing I want to talk about. So first of all, this is a Sword and Shield Pokemon Center ETB. Up until a year ago, literally all of them except for Evolving Skies were like stocked all day long. No queue, no bots, no line. You could buy things like the Fusion Strike Pokemon Center ETB, the Chilling Rain, the Silver Tempe. You could buy all these for $60 all day long up until literally just a few months ago, essentially. Like, okay, so anyway, we had $60. It is now a $250 Pokemon Center ETB. So to go from $60 to $250 for a Sword and Shield Pokemon Center ETB that does not have a stamp promo, yeah, that's a great investment. Anyone who told you just stick to booster boxes, the Sword and Shield ETBs, because, you know, there's extra fluff, there's dice, there's dividers, there's shipping issues, you're not getting near the return, they were 100% wrong. The Fusion Strike Pokemon Center ETB is $250, up 300% on the 1 year chart. Alright, moving along. Kanto Power Collection. This features Mewtwo, not Mew, and a little Slowpoke. This right here, look at this. Whoa, whoa. $190. This was $200 6 months ago. It is now almost $300. It is $285 with that Mewtwo EX Jumbo, the Mewtwo promo, XY Evolutions packs, whole bunch of Evolutions packs, it looks like. I mean, it even says Evolutions up there in the corner. But that is Kanto Power Collection, and that is at an all-time high of $285, up quite a lot. Moving along. Oh, what is this? This is the Scarlet and Violet 151 Ultra Premium Collection, featuring a Mew SIR promo and a Mewtwo IR promo. I thought it was going to say, it just says full art and it says etched foil. Why can't you just say special illustration rare and illustration rare? That would be way more specific and accurate. Anyway, on the 1 year, a year ago, guys, a year ago, this was $100. Not 2 years ago, 1 year ago. It is now $362. And look at that big old Mew on the cover. If it's got Mew on it, it's up big. Okay, this is $363, up from $100 on the year. Moving along. This is, as we know, as you should know, and if you don't know this, what is this, your first MimikBrew video ever? This is where the armored freaking Mewtwo comes from. That is the 2019 Fall Collector's Chest, and the Mewtwo's $120. Okay, you should know that too by watching MimikBrew Hottest Cards of the Week videos. But guess what? This itself is $363, up from $220 on the 1 year chart. Again, that's where you find your armored Mewtwo. Moving along. Everyone, including myself, week in and week out, has been talking about the Mewtwo and Mew GX Tag Team promo that comes out of this 10. Just made a video kind of about 10 and 10s like this collected box just 2 days ago. Check it out. But here we go. So, the Power Partnership 10 Mewtwo and Mew GX is from 180 to 370. That is up 100%. Let's just call it 96% on the 1 year. There you go. Big time gains because you got Mewtwo and Mew on the cover. Bang. Okay, we got two more. Holy moly. So, Unified Minds Elite Trainer Box. 1 year ago, like $300. Right now, like $550. $550, and again, because it has Mew and Mewtwo, you get double the gains. It's a pretty cool looking box. Absolutely. The last sealed product we are going to look at, Unified Minds. We might as well just look at the booster box. There it is, because why? It has both of them all over it. And there you go. It's $1,122, up from $650, $675. Another one that has almost doubled in value over the last year. So there you go. That is it for all the sealed products. We are now going to look at English Mewtwo and Mews, Japanese Mewtwo and Mews, and then the PSA 10 eBay sales that are a little crazy, little jaw-dropping. Alright, here we go. So we will be using Pokedata.io, Pokedata, not TCG Player. TCG Player, the older the cards get, like vintage, like WotC, the more and more condition plays a huge role in the market value, and the more you are going to get very, very inaccurate TCG Player market quotes. For example, Rocket's Mewtwo EX right here, if you go to TCG Player, it says it's only $300. There is zero shot you are getting a Rocket's Mewtwo EX from Team Rocket Returns in Near Mint for $300. The $1,200 is far more accurate. So when it comes to vintage and stuff, I'm just saying, don't trust TCG Player. That is why we're on Pokedata. Everything else, for the most part, is a one-to-one, very close to TCG Player, other than this Rocket's Mewtwo. But for the sake of these next 4 pages, we will use Pokedata because everything is just slightly more accurate on the more expensive stuff. So here we go. Our most expensive card, period, Mewtwo, is the Mewtwo Gold Star from Holland Phantoms. Our second most valuable card, and this card, my god, you maybe can get a damaged for $300, but the near mint are gonna run you $700, $800, $900, maybe even $1,200, and that is Team Rocket's Returns, Rocket's Mewtwo EX. Shining Mewtwo from Neo Destiny, first edition. So go ahead and take a look at sales down here, and it's saying TCG Player $689. eBay, that's clearly flawed. We're not going to look at anything that looks like it's 35 or under. When I scroll down here, chances are your PSA 6s are really about what you would expect to pay for it raw. So between 450, 650, 650. There's a PSA 6 for only 345, 400. Point is, your PSA 6s and 7s are probably around what you can expect to pay for a light play first edition. So yeah, about I'd say $600 to $700 for a light play first edition or shadowless Mewtwo sounds about right to me. And then coming in at number 5 is the brand new Team Rocket's Mewtwo from Destined Rivals at $575, and I believe on TCG Player it's coming in a little less, maybe around 450 right now, you know, tanking fast. But alright, so there you go. Now let's go ahead and look at the English Mews, most valuable English Mews. So here we go. So first of all, our Gold Star Mew from Dragon Frontiers, $1,500 raw. That is a pretty solid quote. That is fairly accurate for a kinda near mint light play one. Looks good. Bubble Mew at $300, very accurate. Mew, specifically the reverse holo, not the holo rare, from Expedition, one of the greatest sets of all. All these e-reader sets are the greatest sets of all time. Expedition, in my opinion. Expedition, reverse holo Mew at $225. And then we have our very mid-modern, our Mewtwo and Mew GX Rainbow Secret Rare from Unified Minds at $200. And right here, Holland Phantoms, Mew EX Holo Rare, $200. And right now, also, it's $200 on, it's $199, like $75 on TCG Player, and that's Mewtwo and Mew GX, the Black Star Sun and Moon promo. So basically, Mewtwo and Mew GX, Mew EX from Holland Phantoms, Mewtwo and Mew GX from Unified Minds, all three of those are kind of rounding off at exactly $200. But as you can see here, there's a whole lot of cards from the $100 to $200 range. I would say more than even Mewtwo. There's a lot of expensive Mew cards. A lot. Right there. Alright, now we'll take a look at Japanese, and we gotta be kind of smart about this. So, here we go. Japanese Mewtwo's. First of all, you have to completely ignore this one at the top. There was one irregular sale for $400 that got logged under this card. Other than that, this card right here usually sells for $25 or $30, so forget about it. But Darkness and to Light Shining Mewtwo. This is the ultimate Japanese Mewtwo chase card right here. Bang. Followed by the Shining Legends Mewtwo. And then here's your Miracle Twins, the Japanese. This is not a promo. It is only a promo in English right here. So there's your 1, 2, 3. Completely skip the Championship Series 2020 card. That is another irregularity that got thrown in there. Number 4 is right here. Team Rocket's Mewtwo from Glory of Team Rocket. $230 just came out. And then, once again, Rocket Gang strikes back. Rocket's Mewtwo EX showing up on the Japanese side, not just the English, right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are your 5 most valuable regular, set, or promo Mewtwo cards. Now let's look at Mew. Alright. Here we go. So first of all, this is perfect. You'll never get these cards. So I'm glad they're flipped over. We're going to start right here. Because with Mew, in Japanese, it starts with the Miracle Twin, Mewtwo and Mew GX. Then we go to Fusion Arts, to the alternate art. And this right here, the Korokoro, this right here is probably my favorite Mew of all time, the Korokoro Comics Mew. The Japanese market, for over a decade, has had this card pinned down to have a market value based on condition for over a decade. What I mean by that is an S tier Korokoro Mew will sell for significantly more than an A plus tier, an A minus tier, a B, a C, a D. I have been shopping for Korokoro Mews for over a decade. Every single human being in Japan knows how beloved the Korokoro Comics Mew is. So to get a actual near mint, a legitimate near mint Japanese Korokoro Comics Mew, you're paying so much more than $250. $250 is probably the average amongst all conditions. So all I'm saying is the most expensive, somewhat mass-printed Japanese Mew card is a mint condition Korokoro Mew, not the Miracle Twin, not the Fusion Art VMAX. An S tier Korokoro Mew is the ultimate chase for most Japanese Mew collectors, in my opinion, from what I've seen over the last 10 years that I've been shopping for this card and looking for it off and on. There's nothing better than Korokoro Mew, and by the way, it is way faked. This is an exceptionally faked card. Make sure you know what you're doing if you buy a Korokoro Mew. Alright, and then so 4 and 5, we have right here the Delta Species Mew, the promo in Japanese, and then of course Shiny Treasure EX, the Bubble Mew, and then here's the Expedition Japanese version, Holo Rare Base Expansion Pack Mew coming in at number 6. There you go. Bang, bang, bang. Now we're going to go on to eBay, and we're going to look at a whole bunch of crazy recent sales of PSA 10 slabs. Okay, so this is organized by most recent and most valuable sale. So all of these sales are going to be very recently, like in the last 3 months, but they're also going to be a lot of money. So starting off right at the top, first of all, we're going to look at Mews and we'll look at Mewtwo's. So for the Mews, we have a $15,000 sale of a Dragon Frontier Gold Star Mew on May 4th. 45 bids, $15,000. We can go and check, see original listing real quick. There you go. The very, very old cert. Again, $15,000 even. There you go. And then we're gonna keep going down. So this is the brand new, just ended yesterday? This is the numbered to 1500 Mew. I don't even know what we call this thing. It's the Chinese super limited 151. There's 1,510 of this card. It just sold for $15,000. There, look at that. You are a $15,000 Chinese Pokemon card. 003 SVP simplified Chinese. That is simplified Chinese, right? Yeah, simplified Chinese. Where does it show the number? Where does it show what? Are they not serial numbered? They don't actually have the serial number on them? Is that a thing? Is that real? that you just gotta trust that only 1,500 of them were made. Let's go here. Look right there. Radiant Collection Legendary Treasure, $7,000. And this thing is $100 raw right there. Wow, 7,000. So Radiant Collection, Legendary Treasures, Radiant Collection, and Generations Radiant Collection. They're both like Crown Zenith, Alpha, and Beta before Crown Zenith, like 10 years before, literally. Great pull rates, great values, great cards. Here you go. Here's your Cora, Gem in 10, $5,000 right there. So that's it. Just $5,000. That's all you need for the Gem in 10. That ain't too bad. I can someday. Oh God. Let's look at this in the slab real quick. There you go. There it is. You aren't gonna be able to buy this raw and grade yourself and get a 10 unless you pay at least $1,000 for this card. I promise you. Alright, moving along. Let's go down. There's another one right there, $5,000. There's another one right there, $5,000. You see, this is a hot, very liquid card, Cora Mew. There's another Radiant right there. So basically, it looks like Radiant Collection, you know, Legendary Treasures, and then the Cora Mew are the two most popular, very, very expensive. I mean, because look, this is all just in the last month. This is all Cora Mews. Legendary Treasures Mews, more Cora Mews. Here's one sold for only $4,000. And that was just a month prior. Battle Festa promo, Arita 20th, $4,000. You ain't never gonna get your hands on that. There's another one right there. Here we go. Here's a Mitsuhiro Arita DNA certified one for $3,500, $9 on the Gold Star. Look at that. Yeah, kind of a weak sig. There you go. Alright, let's scroll down just a little more. Here's the Japanese EX right there. So as you can see, it's about 4 or 5 total cards that are like... Oh, here's the Legend Maker Reverse Holo for $3,000. What the heck? Legend... Whew. EX Legend Maker Reverse Holo. Just sold 16 bids, $3,000 Z and G. And that was, what, a month ago? Very cool. Keep going just a little more. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. 2016 from the Super Premium Collection that costs like $1,000. We didn't talk about it because it doesn't have Mew or Mewtwo painted on it. But yeah, $2,700. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at some Mewtwo cards. So here we go. This sold today. This is a first edition base set Mewtwo. Today sold for $17,500. Look at that. $17,500 at 4 p.m. just a couple hours ago. Bang. That's a lot of money. Go down here. Here's one that just sold a week ago for like $4,000 less dollars. Or $4,000 less dollars right there. Both have very old cert numbers. Gold Star Mewtwo, March 16th, 62 bids, $13,200 right there. April, a month later, almost $2,000 less, $11,000. Neo Destiny, first edition, here's a grail. Oh my god, $9,800, and that was in March. Here's the Japanese version, same thing, back $9,500. Full Art Mewtwo for what? There's no way. Rockets me $8,800. This is what I'm talking about when I tell you, when TCG Player tells you that this card is $300 raw, do not be confused, because this in a PSA 10 sells for $8,800. So a near mint copy of this card is not going for $300. A near mint copy of this card is going for more like $9,000, $1,200. You know. All right, moving down. Another one, $8,100. Here's a steal. Here's only $8,000. Very old, sir. $8,000 for the first edition base set Shadowless Mewtwo, where somebody paid almost $18,000 right here just a couple months later. That is actually a massive difference. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Here we got a Diamond and Pearl. Let's look at this Diamond and Pearl right quick. Mewtwo Level X Black Star promo from Diamond and Pearl. That is a Very cool looking card. Are you kidding me? $7,400 sold May 11th. As soon as we end this video, I'm gonna look this card up in raw, and yeah, this card is way too cool for a Black Star promo Mewtwo card. Are you kidding me? Alright, you get the point. I'm gonna end it right there. We're done. Alright, there you go. I just did this video for fun because I noticed basically anything with Mew and Mewtwo had been popping off, so I figured it deserved its own video to just point everything out. Because again, we covered a little bit of everything. Hey, you! Hit the like, comment, subscribe button. Oh my god. Can you imagine if the like, comment, subscribe was just all one button? Catch you guys tomorrow on hottest Pokemon cards of the week. Deuces.